I'm going to install Claude Cowork on my desktop. I'm using a Windows 11 machine. I've never done this before. I'm overdue to do this as well as Claude Code. When you're in Claude, you just come down here, Get Apps and Extensions is a button down here, and that's going to lead you over to the download and kind of everything page where you can extend Claude into all these different areas from Chrome to Cowork to Office and all this stuff. So what I want is Cowork up here. I want to download it for Windows. That'll default to whatever platform you're on. It's going to download the exe. I want to enable this. To enable this, settings for developers, turn on developer mode. All right, so you may have to open up your settings system. Developers, developer mode goes on. Turn it on. That's annoying that that has to be done, but we are doing it. Open settings. I did it. Now let's go back to our downloads. Or I guess to our desktop, and let's open this up once more. We're going to install it, get started, continue with Gmail or Google. Just going to sign into my account here, continue, and open. Let Claude access your camera. Sure. Control-Alt-Space to type to Claude. Click the Claude icon in the menu bar, show in the menu bar. Okay, so now we've got it installed. Now, this should be quite familiar to you. This looks exactly the same as on the desktop app where we've got all our regular chats right here. Looks exactly the same, only this is an actual app. Virtual machine platform not available. Claude's Workspace requires the virtual machine platform on Windows. Enable this feature and then restart. So I'm going to enable that. We're going to click yes. So the whole point of us doing this is we want to enable this to work. Okay, so when I enabled that virtual environment, it actually restarted the whole computer, which I wasn't aware was going to happen, but that happened. So I ended up Googling this and pulling up the support docs and how Claude Cowork runs tasks. It executes work in a virtual machine environment. I guess I knew this, but I didn't really put two and two together. So we've enabled that on my machine. And now in Claude, the desktop app, we have Cowork available to us here, which you can cycle between those choices using Control-1, Control-2, or Control-3, unless you're using those shortcuts for other stuff like I am. So now we're in Cowork, and what I want to do, the whole reason that I decided to set this up, which I've been delaying doing for a while, is because of a use case where I'm going to have a folder full of thumbnails and then a file, which is a PNG overlay image that I want to basically put on top of each of those thumbnails. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here, I've got all these thumbnails of these different items. And then on my desktop, I also have, I got these overlay deals, and let's just go with, my honest review, my thoughts on this. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put it over here. And I want to tell Claude Cowork to go through each one of these images, and I'm going to rename this overlay and create a new image. And let's just go ahead and do this together. So I got that over there. Let's bring Cowork back up, work in a folder. So can I drag this? Okay, look at this. So I'm going to find that folder. It's right here, thumbnails, select folder, outside your home directory. Okay, so apparently, and whether that's a bug or not is beyond the scope of this video, let's just say that it's got to be in username directory right here. So I'm going to copy this, put it over there, and then I'm going to select that folder. Okay, we're going to allow. And then we're going to give the instructions. So let me reference what I got right here. Let me keep this on top of my screen. How do I do that? There we go. So I can see what I'm looking at. And then we're going to write something here. Inside this directory are several JPEG images and one PNG overlay image. The overlay image is entitled overlay.png. I would like you to overlay every single one of the other JPEGs in this folder with the overlay and output in the same folder a new image where all of these are combined. Now that may be a little bit more complicated than it should have been. I'm going to use Sonnet, although I have a feeling Haiku could probably do okay. Let's just stick with kind of the mid-range Sonnet and see what it comes up with. So now I like over here in Cowork, it's got a progress deal right here where it shows you the progress. It shows you the directory. It's got the claude.md file, which I haven't even looked at that. It's got context. And then as this goes along, it's going to show me what it's doing. And then in the chat right here, as we're used to, it's showing me updates. Let me start by checking what's in your folder. I can see 11 JPEGs. Let me see the quick to-do list and get to work. The JPEGs are that, 1/3 the skies. Okay, so good. I'll scale the overlay up to match each image. Now, I should have told it to do a 1080p output and just scale both of them to that, but whatever, this is fine. A quick note, the overlay was that, so I scaled it up. This preserves the images full overlay. All 11 images are done. The output files are saved in the same folder, okay? All right, and here's the folder. Check that out. It did it, all right? So this did exactly what I wanted it to do. And, originally I was going to put this through Canva, which you can do that in Canva, but this works great. Wow, cool. Very good use case and very easy to set that up. Now, alternatively, we can do stuff in Canva, but I like doing this without incorporating a third-party tool if I don't have to use it. But if I wanted to add connectors, we've got manage connectors right here, and we can go and search for browse connectors, Canva. It's probably, right there. So I'll do that maybe in a later video. If you'd like to see that or some other connector, please let me know in the comments below. Happy to follow up on this. So here's a look inside Claude Cowork settings and everything. You've got tasks up here, search, scheduled, all these things that we're kind of used to seeing in regular chats. But then we got ideas where it's coming up with different ideas that we can incorporate and customize. So here is where those connectors live. If you want to connect up your Gmail, your Google Calendar, Zapier, or a host of other connections. And you can see that there are quite a few here. This is kind of the next iteration of what MCP servers were, which was, if that was too complicated for you, this is like the easy version of that. You can just click through and connect stuff. And then we have skills right here. So importantly, this pulls in all the skills if you've made any over on your regular Claude web browser, the web app. So these are things that I've created on the web app, and they are fully available right here. And then you have any recent chats that are run locally and aren't synced across devices. So that's what this guy right here is. It's a local chat that I did just now, which was in a directory on my computer. And that, of course, is not going to be available because it was local on my regular Claude interface here online. So if I refresh this, it does not have that recent chat over here. Will Claude Cowork continue running while I am not using it on the desktop? Do I need to shut this down every time that I'm done with it? Is it taking up system resources? How does all that work? Yeah, so the VM is the thing that I was wondering about too. It runs in a virtual machine, provides isolation. The VM environment is separate from your main operating system. Okay. The VM is what handles local file access and task execution. Here's the catch. I hate it when AI talks like this still. Don't say stuff like this. I need to do some better system prompts. The Cowork VM boosts on every launch, even when unused, consuming background resources. There are actually open bug reports about this. One issue notes a 12 gigabyte VM bundle that creates significant resource pressure. Okay, so just having it installed and the desktop app open does have a recent. Okay, what about when I step away? Scheduled tasks only run when your computer's awake and the desktop app is open. The AI processing itself happens in the cloud, so that's important and good to know. Claude Cowork requires an active internet connection. Files are read and written locally, but processing happens on Anthropic's servers. Do you need to shut it down? You don't have to, but there are good reasons to close the app when you're done. The VM does consume RAM and some CPU when idle. Okay, practical answer, yes, close it entirely. That is what I will be doing. Claude Cowork here is kind of the next step up from just the regular chat where it can actually do stuff for you on your computer. I'm quite excited to start using this. What do you think? Like, subscribe, all the stuff. Appreciate you watching this and hope you have a great one.